All right, here we go. Good evening, everybody. If you don't know, I'm JJ.
I'm CJ.
And we are the Radio Twins.
Yeah.
And this is the Radio Twins Experience Podcast. Now, if you ever wanted to follow us on social media, we're on all social media platforms. Oh, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, most of them.
All of them.
And they are Facebook, TikTok, Fanbase, Instagram, Twitch, Substack, Spill, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Thread. You follow us, we follow you back. You can also go to our website, TheRaydioTwins.com.
TheRaydioTwins.com.
Check out our apparel line by going to the same website and hitting the tab that says Born to Win Store. That's BORN, the number 2, WINSTORE. And if you didn't know, it's also a .com too, but we at least want to pull you to our page and then take to the next page. We got t-shirts, hoodies, socks, you name it, we have it. And this is the Radio Twins Experience Podcast, where we discuss people, places, and things. The Radio Twins Experience is where we also interview interesting individuals because we believe everyone has a story to tell. You experience them just as we do. Experience something new with us.
Mm-hmm.
And today, nothing changes. We have someone.
Drum roll, please.
I can never do that. Guess, please introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How y'all feeling? Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me slide the camera real quick. Woo! Look at the drip. Look at the drip. Jesus, Lord. There's a whole lot going on. I am BBI Pirate Bae. You know, I represent Wisdom Court Entertainment. I represent BBI, which is Block Boy Inc. I represent Aeon Culture. You know what I'm saying? Aeon Records, Aeon Forever. You know, and I represent me. You know, and I'm here, and
Definitely,
it's about to be a show. It's about to be a show.
So, for those of you who may not know, how did you come up with your name?
Okay, so before I say that, now that I showed y'all the ensemble, now I can get a little comfortable. Hold on, give me a minute. You know, let me get a little comfortable. Woo, yes, Lord. Right. Woo. All right, hat stays on.
All right.
So for a good couple years, like as long as I really been into the hip hop spaces, the MC spaces, doing music, doing hip hop music, doing rap music. My name, my moniker has changed like consistently. And when I landed on Pirate Bae, I believe I was sitting home one day, and my previous name, and it's actually tatted on me, and like I still kind of, whenever I do music, sometimes I'll put it like in my music and stuff like that. And my previous name was Yay High, and a couple of my childhood friends gave me that name, and I didn't know where it came from. Like they said, my name before that was Junebug. And it was like, well, you know what? Your name being Junebug, I don't think a lot of people's gonna take you seriously. So we're gonna sit here. We're gonna come up with a name for you. So we were playing video games, and they were just like, coming up with names. And then finally, I think I left the room for like 10 minutes, and I came back, and all of them were like, "We got your name." I said, "Okay, what's my name?" It said Yay High. I said, Yay High. He was like, "Because you stand Yay High." I said, "Oh my God, okay." So that's really where that original name came from. But after that, like I even though like I kind of gelled with it, I felt like it didn't really sit with me. And fast forward a good couple years, I was sitting there, and I just thought about like a lot of things that I've been through, like a lot of life experiences that I had since the age of 19. I've went from house to house, couch to couch, really on some gypsy type thing, just from friends of friends' houses. And I honestly felt like every friend group that I was a part of, it was like a whole different adventure. It was a whole different adventure, like no matter where I was. And I was like, man, I kind of feel like a pirate. Like I just get on a ship and I kind of just like go on different adventures. Every time I meet like a new group of friends, like, and we're still friends to this day. Like there was no fallouts, nothing like that, but people move on. So I was like, yeah, I like that. I feel like I could, and my name was gonna be Pirate. So originally the name was Pirate Piccolo. The name was originally Pirate Piccolo. Pirate, because of my adventurous nature and my moving from place to place to place. Piccolo from my love of the anime cartoon Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
And I went to combine them. But then I thought about it and I was like, I don't want them to, come serve me some papers, for this name. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just gonna go stick with Pirate. And then like one random day I was online, just kind of just like looking through some stuff, and the name Pirate Bay had came about. And I remember like seeing that like back in the earlier like internet days with like LimeWire, Kaiser. And I remember like there was like the Pirate Bay. That was just like that one like site where it's just like everything was there. Just anything that you could think of was like there. And I was like, wow, you know what? I like that. Pirate Bay. But I also don't want to be sued by them. So let me change it up a little bit. And so I put so instead of BAY, I put BAE. And I was like, what could the BAE stand for? Pirate before anything else. And that's how I came up with my name.
Okay. Before anything else. Okay. I like that.
That's like an acronym.
Right.
I like that. Don't ask me.
Yes.
Remember. But the acronym word.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, okay. How did you get into hip hop?
How did I get into hip hop? So, at a very young age, I say about like a good 7, 8 years old, I started really like getting into poetry. I started getting into writing. I started off writing short stories. I would write short stories like, and this is not my parents. I love y'all. I swear I love y'all. But like during that time, I felt like I couldn't verbally express myself. I really couldn't verbally express myself. There was a point in time in life where like, if you express yourself a little too much to your parents, that's, hey, look, you're being a little disrespectful. You're talking too much. Like, look, I said do this. You know what I mean? And so when from that, I kind of felt stifled in a way where like I feel like I couldn't fully express the things that I wanted to say. And I just started writing like short stories. Like I started just writing stories about just like my friends, my near friends. Like I would just write different like fiction, fantasy, like kind of like short stories, just like us having like superpowers and stuff like that. Like just I would just write for hours. Sidebar, whenever I was like really punished, by my mom, she would make me sit down and copy every word in the dictionary. Like she would have me sit there for about 3 to 4 hours just copying words in the dictionary, like, when I really got out of line. So So as that transpired, like for some reason, it transpired into poetry. Then I started writing poetry. And then when I really kind of got expressive with it and got a little comfortable with like letting people know, like, hey, I do poetry, listen to this, listen to that, being at that young age, I started entering like contests in school, and I not to toot my own horn, but literally I won every poetry contest.
Oh wow.
Okay.
As in every poetry contest, like I literally won. So fast forward just a little bit, I say around like 9, 10 years old. My older sister, she was really into hip hop. And she started like pretty much, she would take like a song that we like, and she would sit down with her notepad and she would remix the whole entire song. She would write it in that same cadence, and she would just write her own words and write her own words. And then one day she pulled me up like, hey, like do this with me. I was like, okay. So I started doing that, and like, it was fun, it was cool. And it wasn't until I say, let me see, was it 6th grade? It was 6th grade, and I had wrote like a little verse to the song "High" by Juvenile. Throwback.
Like that record.
Like, yeah. So like, but I didn't take his cadence. I actually just wrote like my own, like just my own flow. And I went to school. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I would say that was up.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I wrote my own flow, and I went to school, and a couple of guys was like, they was having like a little rap thing going on. Everybody was rapping in the classroom, like, and I was like, I wrote a rap, and they was like, okay, let us hear it. So I rapped it, and when I finished, like the whole classroom went crazy. And I remember 2 of my closest homeboys was like, you didn't write that. you didn't write that. And I was like, I did. They was like, no, you didn't write that. Like, who wrote this for you? I was like, I was writing, like, I write rhymes with my sister. They was like, no, your sister wrote that. I was like, no, I sat here and I wrote that. You know, and then literally when I went and I went home that day and I let my sister hear it, she was like, that's nice. Like, and like it was like I remember that moment in particular being the moment where I was just like, I can do this. I can really do this. And then like pretty much from there, me, my older sister, my older brother, and my younger brother, we kind of formed like, you know, a family group, you know, and we just started writing and, you know, like I said, similar to what my sister was doing, just rewriting songs. We had our own like group and it was called Naughty Ghetto. And we would just remix a lot of songs, you know, and that's really where it came from. Like, you know, from the poetry to the poetry contest to that verse to me saying, yeah, I can do this.
Now, do any of them still rhyme?
No, unfortunately, no. My sister, I remember, I think I talked to her maybe like a year and a half ago about music, like, you know, just like she was giving me like my flowers, and I was just like, yo, I'm giving you your flowers, because like if it wasn't for you really like showing me, you know, putting it to a beat, like who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows? So it's like they don't do it anymore, but like they really champion it, and like we still like reminisce, just like, yo, remember we was in the room just like writing rhymes like now, and like now look at you, Junior, like, and that's what everybody calls me, my family, like, look at you, Junior, like now you on stages and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah.
So from all of that, where do you think you figured out how to express yourself when it came to your writing? I mean, you told us how it all started, but when you started to say, okay, now I'm gonna fly and I'm gonna see if I can kind of figure out
my own lane.
Yeah, like, cause I mean, I'm just using this as an example. Me being a writer, I looked at certain rappers and I kind of molded all four of those into what I do. So if there was someone that you looked up to, who did you start off with where you were like, okay, I can write like this, but then you realize, okay, now I can kind of fly off and do what I do?
So it's like, it's a little bit of like a mix. Like when me and my siblings were like really getting into like the whole hip hop spaces and everything, like we were looking at mega groups, you feel me? Because we felt like we were a mega group. It was four of us, you know, and we would just kind of mirror certain things. Like we were like really big on the Rough Riders. We were really big on No Limit. Like we loved the Hot Boys because it was for them, it's for us. You know, we were just like, yeah, we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like super groups like Wu-Tang. It was just like, yeah, it was those moments where like that really made me realize like, yeah, I want to do this with y'all, and I want to really do this because they're doing this. And like I said, just gradually just like listening, you know what I'm saying, to the rise during that time of hip hop. That's what really like put that fire in me, put that fire under me, just like, yeah, we can do this. Like we can really do this just based off of just like what they're doing. So like during like the earlier days, it was definitely like, you know, super mega groups, so like super mega labels like Rough Riders, No Limit, Cash Money, yeah, stuff like that.
When you, of course, we now know like when you started, but what isn't, well, I think is very interesting that I think a lot of people want to know, at least including me. When did you say, one, I know I can rap, I know I can write it, and I know I can perform? When did you say, you know what, the style that I have is all my own? When did you say,
now is the time to go further than what everybody else is doing?
To be honest, like it wasn't something that really came to me. I feel like it was something that was really kind of forced on me, like based off of like a lot of like small and big traumatic events, you know, like just involving me like expressing myself. Like that's really where like a lot of that stuff like came from. It was just like, I guess like just doubt just from other people, doubt from, you know, friendship circles, like just to kind of doubt, just like, hey, like, oh well, look, like, I mean, we can do it too. Like what makes you so special about like doing it, you know? And like I said, for me, I think it was just it was such an outlet, because like I said, starting from home, with not being as verbal, and then me getting into going to school, being in different friend groups, like um I would I would be lying if I said like I wasn't always this eclectic. And everybody didn't really like how to really like take to it. So that was the pushback that I got, just from simply trying to be myself, really made me push even harder. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm not like the rest of you guys, and you guys never let me forget it. But I also do this the same way you guys do this. And like now I have to crush you guys.
Right.
Like now I have to crush you guys. Like this is my defense mechanism.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? I found it. I finally found it, and I'm gonna keep working at it, because like, yeah, like everybody and their grandmother raps, so I'm gonna crush you. I'm gonna find a way to crush you. I'm gonna use this, and I feel like I'm so good with my words. Like, thank goodness I got on punishment a few times, and I had to write the dictionary. Thank goodness.
I would say, like, when the first time we met you, you were performing, and everybody was good. Don't get me wrong; everyone was good, including Billy. Shout out to Billy Live.
Yes, Lord. Shout out to Billy Live.
But you and Killer, Nessa's partner, if y'all don't know, like you keep people hanging when y'all do your thing. It's like, wow, you said this right before you said that, and then you say this. It's like lyrically you have it, and I think you stood out with your style, and then it's like you're the same person on stage, off stage. You never, to me, you're real,
right?
And I like that, specifically in your music.
Thank you.
Wait, like everybody, like we always say this, no matter what interview we're dealing with, when we're dealing with interviewing anybody from Wisdom Court, but like everybody has their specific style and cadence and just vibe. You have that, and you're different, but it's like everybody is different, but you're like way different. Like it's almost like you
years away.
Yeah, like on purpose, you're just like totally different, and you don't care, and you do it well, and people are like, who's this crazy dude over here? And it's like, and the rhymes reel everybody in,
right? But
then when of course, when you see some of the outfits that you wear, they're like, oh wow, because the first time we thought it was crazy.
Like as far as like, like just like the look and everything, and just like with me and, what I'm saying, shout out King Killer, love you, brother. Like when we came together, like it wasn't anything that was like really planned. It wasn't anything that was really planned. Like, prior to me meeting Killer was actually in his own group, and I actually would work with the group. And out of love and respect for Killer, I will not name the group. But he had his own group, but like his former rap partner, like I knew him first, and then he actually introduced me to Killer. So when we all three of us would get together, we would just kind of just work together and everything and do our thing. But like I always wanted to be my own separate entity, for several reasons. We're gonna get into that. But I really wanted to like work with them, but still be like a separate entity. Like, how you have certain people who are solo artists, but then when they get together, like prime example, Tyrese, Tank, and Genuine, they are separate artists. When they come together, they are TGT. Right. Right. So that's what it was. And it wasn't necessarily that with me and his group. It was just like when we came together, we gonna rock it, we gonna kill it. But it was like when his former rap partner introduced me to him, like his former rap partner, what I'm saying, I respect his rhymes, but like when I heard Killer for the first time, it was just like that look that you get when you hear some good bars, that nasty look, that like something stank in the room.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, like that's what I heard from him, and I was just like, excuse me? Oh, right. you ain't heard my pen. Like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, it was a challenge, but it was a friendly competition. Just like, oh my God. I love any artist that make me step my pen up. And that's literally what it was when I first met him. He made me step my pen up, you know. And then when they had, you know what I'm saying, their decision to separate from one another, you know, and then me and King Killer started working together. We didn't even have any music together. Like, it was months, like close to a year. We didn't have no music together. I would just go to his house, and we would throw on like 1,000 beats, and we'll just be going back and forth. He going, I'm going. He going, I'm going. He going, I'm going. And it was like, for a while we would do that. And then one day he was like, yo, we need to get on a song together. And I'm like, we're going to do it, yo. We're going to do it. And then more months went by. We just rapping back and forth at his house. And then he's like, yo, we need to do some music together. You know what I mean? Like, so like, that's kind of really like where that came into play. And I wasn't too sure about, like, you know, how our dynamic would be, because I understand him as a man, and I wasn't sure if he understood me as the man that I am. You feel me? Would he be able to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say like because I'm a grown man, but would he be able to, you know, accept the fact that I am my own man and this is how I display myself? Like, you know, like, hey, this is who I am. But trust me, when it's time to get in that booth, when it's time to get on that stage, you better watch out. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't too sure how he would take into that. And, you know, in the very beginning stages, like, it wasn't nothing negative. It would take him a lot by surprise. Just like, yo, what is this? What are you wearing? I'm like, yo, this is what we're doing.
You know what's so crazy though? People, okay, so not a lot of, without putting it out there, it's like, even when they say, like, when twins work together, you would think they know one another in and out, and styles of music, all that. We have yet to do stage shows, but the way that you two come off on stage,
it meshes.
It meshes so well. You're like,
it's like a left and right punch.
Yeah, even if y'all were to say, oh no, we didn't practice, and you can kind of tell, like, it's just something that happens.
So what makes your music different from what's already out there?
Right.
What makes, you know what I'm saying? Well, as far as like the BBI, the Block Boy brand, the Block Boy Inc. brand, like, what separates the music is the fact that me and King Killer, like, we have two totally different mindsets about, like, you know, like, when it comes to like the beat selection, the music selection, topic, concept selection, but somehow we're able to mesh it because, you know what I'm saying, me having an open mind and him having an open mind. I feel like for him, it's more of an open mind thing. But like when he throws beats at me, and like, rather I'm not gonna say rather I like him or not, rather like it's really my style, something in me like is a fire that burns, where it's like, you know what? I need to show him, like, I can do this. And then the whole time while I'm in this mentality, like, I need to show him I can do this, he told me later on, like, yeah, some of the beats you be picking, like, I need to show you that I can do this. It's just like we're just like two totally different entities, but we have grown to understand each other because, like, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than music. Outside of music, like, that's really, you know what I'm saying, that's really my heartbeat. You feel me? That's really one of my heartbeats.
Right.
So it's like, you know, I want to make sure that I understand him, but I want him to understand that, like, you know, we are totally different artists. We're totally separate artists. And a lot of people don't know this, but I'm getting ready to say. So just like I said, similar to the Genuine Tyrese and Tank situation, that's really what the deal is with BBI, because King Killer CLN and Pirate Bae are separate artists. They are really separate artists. You know, when they come together, that's BBI. And a lot of people would, in the beginning, I felt like we were kind of explaining that, but everybody really wasn't hearing it. Like, they'd be like, yo, y'all group it. For a while, we kind of just threw it to the side. Like, no, we're not a group. We're a group when we come together. But when we separate, like, yeah, we're two totally different artists. And I really wanted to stand on that, because couple years back, like, when I really was like getting into like artistry, actually, you know, coming from New York, moving to Maryland, and, you know, meeting new people, meeting other teenagers around that time, because I was a teenager. I ran into other teenagers that also rap. and we formed like a whole super group / label and everything. And in the very, very beginning, like it was cool. It was cool. It was copacetic. But then once I realized, okay, all right, we cool. They know I rap. Now it's time to show them who I am, my style. They didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? To be very honest, they didn't like it, and they never failed to remind me, they didn't like it.
Wow.
So yeah, so for like a while, like I was pretty much like in like a whole conglomerate of people, that respected my art, but they didn't I personally didn't feel like they respected me as a person or as an individual, as the whole package. So like it took a little while before really, first of all, shout out Aon Records, formerly known as AON, formerly known as Southpaw. Um, it took for the artist Dice Man. Like and I actually went to school. I went to high school with him. Shout out to Dice Man, shout out to AON, shout out to Fame, shout out to Juice, shout out to everybody. So pretty much when I was in this group right here, it was just a lot of judgment towards my end. And then when they realized that they didn't really want to deal with me, they were like, it was a lot of studio sessions behind my back. A lot of times I wasn't invited to certain things. And then like finally one of the artists basically sat me down and told me like, yeah, they really don't like your vibe. Like they don't like how you present yourself. And it's kind of clashing with what they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's me putting it very, very, very short and very PG.
Okay.
And pretty much once that happened, I was going to school with Dice Man, and I was going to school with also uh his female companion Jules. And I actually knew Jules before I knew Dice Man, and before they even really like got together and like what I'm saying, became one. I would hang out with Jules more, like, and Jules had told me one day, she was like, they don't respect you, like you need to be a solo artist, you need to go on your own. By this time, Naughty Ghetto had took a dive because my two brothers had went to go live in another state, and my sister was kind of slowly like on a decline when it came to rap. She was thinking about other things, so it was kind of like I was still doing this,
Mm-hmm.
but like hanging out with Jules, she was just like, yo, like you need to be solo, they don't respect you, they really don't respect you. And when she said that, I went the day she said that, I went home that night and I wrote a freestyle. I wrote it to Tierra Marie's "Make Her Feel Good,"
Oh.
to that instrumental. I wrote it to that, and I just sent it to Dice Man and Famous. I sent it to them, and I remember Dice Man telling me, he was like, "Yo, he's like, yo, I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I called Famous like, yo, did you hear Yay High? Like, yo." And he let him listen to it, and then they both let their producer, engineer, their CEO listen to it. Chris Beasy, rest in peace, Chris Beasy. You know what I'm saying? Rest up. So they sent it to him, and he was like, yeah, like, yo, he want in, and his family that he's with right now don't love him. And he was like, and when he met with me, he was just like, yo, I see you around school and everything. Like, yeah, and I hear what's going on. Jules told me, like, you got a home right here. You have a home right here. And like, and that's pretty much where it took off. Like, from, what I'm saying, I was with Southpaw, and then it turned into AON, All or Nothing, and then it turned to the Aeon, like throughout the, the later years. But like pretty much that's where it went. Like, that's
Okay.
where I really started like earning family and respect.
Which leads me to this. What, in your opinion, doing music, what is the best and worst thing about it to you?
Huh. The best thing, the best thing about music is, okay, it's like two things. One is just self-expression in general.
Mm-hmm.
Self-expression in general. Just writing that music, putting pen to paper, and just letting it roam. No matter how many ears hear it, just that therapy of just writing on that paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's for me, that's honestly, it's therapeutic. That's the best thing for me. The worst thing for me, I think, is when I'm in those spaces and they they judge the look before they get to see exactly why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's few people that have told me like, yo, I didn't know what you were gonna do. I didn't know what kind of person you are, but now that I see, you're cool. Your bars are crazy. It's just like that's it. Just let me
Mhm.
walk through the door first. Let me show you what here. Give me a second.
Right.
Like y'all walk through the door just like, oh, he's not in uniform. And when I say uniform, y'all, I really mean uniform because nowadays, I remember back in the day where you didn't have to be a uniform. You had to be a different entity.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody's in uniform. If you're not in uniform, you ain't right. We don't like the way you look. You don't look like us. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that's what it got to. It was just like, oh, you're not in uniform. You can't sit with us.
Right.
You
Well,
know, I think that's the worst part. It's like, yo, give me a chance.
Right.
Well, if someone who's already known and in the public eye right now musically that you wanted to work with, that you could clearly and really see yourself like really spazzing out on a record, who would it be?
You mean as far as like mainstream of today?
Yeah, anybody. Yesteryear, today.
Yesterday. Oh man. Oh, okay. Oh man. I felt like a good couple years ago, I had like a certain solid few that I really wanted to get on tracks with. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I actually get compared to these artists. I've gotten compared to these artists like throughout my time of doing music, Fabulous, Lupe Fiasco, Kanye, Nicki Minaj, just I could see Tiger. I could see myself on certain Big Sean. I could see myself like on these tracks. You feel me with these people and everything. I could feel like I could really like spaz out. You feel me? Of course, like Jay because New York, like
Right.
New York. But like you know what I'm saying. For the most part, it's like that's and I've with a few of those names I named, I've gotten those comparisons, and I can see myself being on them probably because I've listened to them so much that
Mhm.
they kind of ooze into like what I got going on into my pot of rap gumbo. Just from me listening to them like throughout all these years. So like yeah,
Mhm.
that's like a few, but I feel like nowadays. Like there are certain artists that I really that I hear like rather than mainstream or rather than indie, and I just be like, I just know we would gel well together. Like I just know we would gel well together. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta let me walk through the door first and show you what I got. Like, wait,
Right.
like, yeah, yes, I got this hat on. Yes, I got these fur boots on, but let me get in the door.
Right.
Let me get in the door.
Now we have this thing where we like to call it twinning sentences or you fill in the blank. And we
Mhm.
give you the first part and you fill in for whatever it is comes to mind. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. I could never have predicted.
I could never have predicted that I would get the amount of love, support, and respect that I have now. I could
Mhm.
never have predicted that.
Right.
I
Cool.
never.
Wow.
Not where I started.
Mm.
Wow.
The key to happiness is.
The key to happiness is self-love.
Mhm.
Self-love. And you know what I'm saying? To some people it may sound so generic and cliche, but like really that's really the key because like when you really love yourself, yo, like can't nobody knock you off your throne.
Mhm.
Right.
Can't nobody trick you out your spot. Like you know who you are. Like
Right.
when I finally figured out who I was, I'm not moving.
Right.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah.
You will never regret.
I will never regret. I will never regret being who I am. I will
Mhm.
never regret being who I am because it took so long to be comfortable with it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes different. I guess it's different time frames for different people.
Right.
But once you get it as you know it, then you good. I think.
Yes.
But you might wish you had.
But I might wish I had stood up and advocated for myself a little harder, years prior.
Mhm.
Wow.
Years prior, yeah. I felt like I let a lot of stuff like roll, like as opposed to stuff that I really could have just really stood up and just said, yo, like that's not it, or yo, I am it.
Right. Cool. The biggest risk I ever took was.
Oh Lord. Wait a minute.
Made him turn around in circles.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. You know what I'm saying, in my life, the biggest risk that I ever took was, again, just going out in public and being myself unapologetically. I feel like that was such a big risk for me because I couldn't do that before. So when I finally decided I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna do it, like I was sweating. I was sweating. But the reception I got was love. Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's why we always say, and before I'm gonna say it real quick. That's why we always say when we talk to you about stuff, it's like, yo, I swear sometimes it feels like that's what me and my brother going through. Like seeing that you go ahead and you perform, and it's like you finally got to that point where you got over that hump. Like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I don't care if you like it or not. That's that. So I guess once we get to that space and that time, then I guess that's, because they always say you'll realize it once you jump off that cliff and fly. But anyway, never be impressed by.
Um, never be impressed by never be impressed by surface level things. Never be impressed by surface level things because anyone and anything can talk a good game. And I've been sold a good game. I done bought a few good games that I thought was good game, and it really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Never be sold by the surface. Like it's so much deeper.
Right. I hope people will remember me most for.
I hope people will remember me most for showing them that it's it's okay to be you. It's really okay to be you. It's okay to be you, and your kind will flock to you. And the ones that make you feel bad for being you, you're not supposed to be around them. You're
Right.
not supposed to.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, it kind of leads into this next question. If I knew then what I know now, I would change.
And why?
And why?
If I knew then what I know now, huh? If I knew that, if I knew that really standing on 10 toes and really being myself would bring in this much love, I wouldn't have had so much anxiety throughout a great deal of my current life.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's crazy.
That was deep.
Yeah, like if I knew that, like yeah, like if I knew that, like I only wish that younger me, you feel me, could take a little glimpse and just be like, yo, all this wild stuff you doing,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, there is a home for it, and there's a family there, and they are waiting on you. I couldn't figure it out at that moment, but time is healing all wounds.
Right. Definitely. So we think of, we're about to give you two. I'm gonna give you a name, and he's gonna give you a name. What are your first thoughts when you hear these names? Okay.
Okay.
Me, J. Cole.
When I hear J. Cole, I hear Step My Pen Up. I really hear Step My Pen Up.
Mm.
Like because just when I think like just when I think I'm going beyond the surface, and I hear something from him, I just sit there. I'm just like, wow. And I know there's other artists that I know, like, you feel me, like of the indie level, you feel me, of the indie caliber, who are a reminder of him. Like, and so I kind of, when I get into that, when I look at him, I'm just like, and I hear him, I'm just like, wow, like you can go a whole lot deeper. Yeah, they know you can rap, but how deep can you really go with this rap? Like how far can you go with it? Yeah.
Mm. Well, I had a name, but I'm going to use another name instead because sometimes I see similarities. Andre 3000.
My fashion father. Man, my first name Andre, his first name Andre. Like, listen, but like just like on an audio note, on a musical note, on a sonic note. Um, oh my God, like he's him, he's himself unapologetically, like sonically, visually, he is himself, and it was never a moment where he ever had to question, like, am I doing this, am I doing the right thing? Like, yeah, just overall father.
Right.
Overall father.
Now, if people wanted to get in contact with you, first of all, I gotta put this out there before it slips my mind.
Okay.
Listen to his mixtapes, and you can always find them on YouTube. But you'll be stopping to rewind it and be like,
just in case, because it's always something you say that's totally like, did he just say it that way? And I wasn't even thinking about it.
Definitely. So if people wanted to get in contact with you or anywhere on social media, how could they do it? Where would they find you?
All right, y'all. Let me give you a good old breakdown. And everything. Cause you know what I'm saying. It's a whole beautiful pyramid. You feel me? Like start with me. If you wanna see me face to face, right in my face, you can just, what I'm saying, with Instagram, you can do at BBI Pirate Bae, not BAY, BAE before anything else. On Facebook, I got the government out there and everything, because that's what's gonna be on my checks when they sign them. Andre Allen Jr. When it comes to YouTube, BBI Backstage. Anything that I'm posting that's BBI related, it's definitely gonna be on there. When, like I told you guys, I'm also a part of Wisdom Court Entertainment, so please follow Wisdom Court Entertainment. Like, due to us, like, doing like the most and doing everything and really stepping out there, like we've done like so much. You're gonna see so much. It's like it's deeper than music. Like literally, like being a part of Wisdom Court, like we really diversified the whole hustle when it came to like hosting, like doing like big proms, homecomings, and it's like over 1,000 attendees. Like we even dabble into Juneteenth. There's a clip on there. I gotta share that, which I gotta put on YouTube when I'm performing at, what I'm saying, Pride festivals. Like, yo, wherever it's where you know what I'm saying, trust me, wherever you think that we won't be, here I am. Here I am, like, listen. But for the most part, if you want to sit there and have a good old conversation with me, whether it's about music or whether it's about like some good food that you ate last night, BBI Pirate Bae on Instagram, or Andre Allen Jr. on Facebook. But if you type in Pirate Bae, you won't see me.
Like, I know you want to see me. Definitely. Anybody want to give a shout out to before we end?
Oh man, listen, I want to give a shout out to Wisdom Court Entertainment. I want to give a shout out to Billy Live. First of all, thank you, Billy Live. Thank you. Like, I posted this the other day on some real, like, I remember when I first really started moving around with Wisdom Court, and my sisters would hit me. They're like, all right, well, when you gonna work with this mainstream artist? When you gonna do this? When you gonna be up here? When you gonna be up here? Like, are you really living your dream? And when I really think about it, I remember like when I was in my teenage years, like, and it's gonna say, I swear, it sounds cliche, but I don't care, because I really was doing this. Like, I would really sit at my window looking at the stars, and I would be like, I wish to be famous. I wish to be successful. Like, I don't know how many nights that I just sat there at my window doing that. And fast forward, he's making my dream come true. Like, I am successful. I've been indoors. I've been on stages that people are trying to get to, that they only dream of. Like, so anybody that's doing what you're doing, trust me. You've been on stages. You doing your music. People are listening to you. People are giving you feedback. You are successful. Right. Don't compare yourself to what they're doing up here. Comparison is the thief of joy. Please don't take away your own joy. I promise you that. So Billy Live, yes, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, so yeah.
Or knowing you on a hook or something that you didn't wrote.
Right. Definitely.
Listen. Yeah, man. So like I said, shout out Billy Live, shout out King Killer CLN. Thank you, brother, for just, you feel me, for just loving all of me. You feel me? When, you know what I'm saying, in my past where people didn't understand how to receive me, you feel me? You were there. You laugh at it, but you laugh at it out of love, because you already know that I'm bringing it. I'm bringing me. You know what I mean? So shout out to Wisdom Court. Shout out to BBI. Shout out to Aeon Records. Shout out to Dice Man and Fame and Jules. Thank y'all for giving me the opportunity. Thank y'all for taking me from a broken home and giving me a good home to actually, you know what I'm saying, hone in on my music and do what I'm doing now. If it wasn't for y'all, I wouldn't know. Thank you to my older sister for help me put that pen in my hand. A lot of times people see me posting a lot of female rap and female artists and female songs, and you know, so they don't really know how to accept it or how to agree with it or understand it. And I'm gonna give y'all just the bottom line. A female taught me how to rap.
Hey,
a woman has taught me how to rap. A young lady, now a woman, has taught me how to rap. You feel me? So that's why I go so hard for female artists, because a woman taught me how to rap. All them bars that y'all hear, a woman taught me how to construct that and put it together and put it to a beat. So yes, thank you, big sis. I appreciate that. Shout out to the Radio Twins.
Oh.
Shout out to the Radio Twins. What's the real? Because like, you know what I'm saying, like, y'all, I really just I love how y'all receive me. I love how y'all appreciate me. I love how y'all lift me up, how y'all big me up. Like, I love that. Like, that's the kind of stuff that keeps me going. You feel me? And I love what y'all do. You feel me? On some real, like when the first time Billy ever like even said your name, I said, I know who they are. I never met them before, but I know who they are. Like, I heard their name before. Like, yeah, like, yes.
Thank you.
I can see you writing a book. You should write a book.
Hey, look, I started off writing books. Here it come.
Right.
Definitely. First, we want to say thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to interview you about your music, what you do, you as an artist. Again, we also want to give a shout out to Billy Live and all of Wisdom Court, because there are too many of them to name each and every single one of them.
Yes.
Shout out to all of you. And again, thank you to you. I'm JJ.
I'm CJ.
And this is the Radio Twins Experience Podcast. If you ever wanted to follow us, we are on most of the social media platforms like Substack, Facebook, TikTok, Fanbase, Instagram, Twitch, Substack, Spill, Blue Sky, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Thread. And maybe if they create something else, I really want my own, but that's another story.
Yeah.
You can also go to our website to check out our apparel line, and that same website is on TheRaydioTwins.com.
TheRaydioTwins.com.
And check out our radio show, which comes on every Saturday at 3 p.m. You may hear this interview on there as well.
Yeah.
By going to TheRaydioTwins.com, experience something new with us, the Radio Twins Experience. Thank you again, Pirate Bae. If you don't know them, get to know them.
Yeah.
We are the Radio Twins. And guess what? We outie.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.